Home is wherever the three of us are together. We love coming back and having our own little safe space at different corners of the house, surrounded by the things that we love. I'm Suzanna, I'm 34 years old this year, and I am a digital media strategist.
My name is Wesley, I'm 34 this year and I work as a manager at a university. This unit is located at Ang Mo Kio. It is a 4-room BTO flat with around 93 square feet to work with. When we first got our flat, we knew that we wanted a bigger common area between the living, study, and dining room as we will be spending most of our time there during the day. Having a bigger common area also helps as we have a toddler who loves exploring.
This is our first place since we got married 3 years ago. We're lucky to have gotten this space, which was an SBF unit. Our son was an unexpected addition during the wait for our home to be completed. It was a blessing, and him coming along before we got our flat allowed us to design our home to fit our new needs as a couple. We gathered some reference image and textures. When we shared the idea with BuildBuilt, they suggested it could be a wabi-sabi or a brutalist kind of look. We loved the idea. Even though the final design did not exactly have brutalist look, we tried as much as possible to incorporate elements of it through our furniture.
Entering the living area, which is my favorite space in the house, you'll see a bay window, which is something that I requested for. Apart from being a practical storage space, it also serves as an extra seating area when we have guests, and more importantly, I enjoy chilling by the windows during my free time. It's a relaxing space for me. It took me a long time to source for a nice and comfy cushion. I found this tatami cushion from Taobao that fits perfectly into this space. We love the fact that most of our built-in furniture is duo-functional. We appreciate how our designer helped to make sure that we maximize the storage of these items. We do not really have green fingers, but we both enjoy nature. My wife tries her best to keep the houseplants alive, and so you can see a few plants here and there in different corners of the house.
I wish I could have more plants in the house, but as of now, it's not really possible with a toddler running everywhere, and I have to keep the plants at a certain height. Eventually, I hope to carve out more space to have more plants at home. I also love to collect design prints wherever I travel. Apart from the shelves in the niche of the living room, we also separately installed some shelves of our own so that I can place some prints that I've collected, designed, or photographed over the years. We did away with the usual carpentry to cover up the bomb shelter door. We hope to fill up this door with knickknacks and photos that reminds us of what's important to us. Moving to the dining and kitchen area, we maintain the open kitchen concept as it really brightens up the space. We do some light cooking at home and rely heavily on our trusty Ninja cooker, hence the open kitchen wasn't much of an issue. We just kept the windows open for ventilation. The island was also something that I really wanted to have for extra prep space. I love prepping meals over the island while watching my son play in the living area. I can still interact with him or my guests over the island. The white countertop provides a lot of space for us to place things as well. We took quite a while to find the right dining table. We eventually came across this table that had a slight organic curve. We loved the raw wood aesthetic, the size was perfect and it fits into the theme of the home. In terms of accessories, we tried to pick out things that didn't look too uniform, like our dining pendant lamp, dining chairs, and irregular shaped mirror in the foyer. We're also mindful to keep the home as child-friendly as possible with curved edges around the carpentry and countertop.
The kitchen carpentry was something that went through quite a bit of changes as we wanted to maximize the storage space, but still ensuring that the space does not look too bulky. We also wanted to make sure that the placement of our switches and things like hob and sink can fit into our daily workflow. The team managed to incorporate some of our suggestions and ideas into the design, and we really liked the final look of the kitchen. Removing the service yard doors really helped to make our kitchen look bigger than it is. It also allowed us to extend the island to cater for a bigger storage space.
As I work from home most of the time, the study area was non-negotiable. We explored different options like knocking down bedroom 1 and carving out a smaller space for our study. We eventually decided to keep the space open instead of building another partition. We kept the area free of any carpentry so that we can keep the space flexible, allowing us to reconfigure when our toddler grows up.
For our kids' room, my wife came across a Pinterest reference of creating a little cozy corner by painting part of the walls and the ceiling. We love the little element of surprise when you enter the room, as that created a little play corner for our son at no extra cost. We like that we have different areas in the home for us to interact with our son. We also carved out a small reading area in the study for him to pick the books that he likes. Eventually, when he is older, we hope that the countertop in the kitchen can serve as another area of interaction where he can explore cooking with us.
For our master bedroom, I've always wanted a platform bed as it's the best way to maximize storage. Apart from the kitchen, this was the second area that had the most carpentry done, which we felt was worth it as storage was important for the both of us.
We painted the lime wash walls in the living room and master bedroom on our own. It was a tiring but fun project, and we really like how it turned out.
I love my kitchen, but I think if I really have to pick a favorite spot, it would be the master bedroom. I love winding down at night with just a bedside lamp and a book. I saw one of my friends' homes being featured on BuildBuilt, and I really liked the design aesthetic. I went ahead to shortlist BuildBuilt as one of the 7 IDs we visited. I particularly enjoyed the co-create workshop sessions as we get to see the changes and options live. This helps the both of us to visualize the space. I came from a design background, hence I really appreciated the design process that BuildBuilt has offered, especially the workshop sessions. To be honest, BB's quotation was towards the higher end, but I was actually sold after the second meeting. It took me some time to persuade Wesley to go with BuildBuilt, but we're glad we went ahead with them. We really appreciated the team's help to source for alternatives or provide suggestions in order to fit our budget.
One thing that we value most was the advice that the BuildBuilt team gave during the entire renovation. Along the way, there were also electricals and piping that had to be replanned due to structural limitations of the flat. We appreciate that the team is always able to help propose feasible solutions. As first-time homeowners, it helps to hear different suggestions from their past projects, allowing us to make certain decisions.
One tip I can share is to not be too fixated about a certain theme that you have in mind, and not to rush to have the ideal home.
Any new parents with a toddler will know that it's impossible to keep the home neat. We think it is possible to still have a cozy and calm space to come back to if you plan your storage space well.
We try to keep everything minimal because we do not want to do extra housework. But jokes aside, our home may look simple at first glance, but if you look closely at the different corners of the house, there are little things that sparks joy. A home should grow with you along the way, and honestly, I think we're still far from the ideal home that we envision. But for now, this is what works for us. That's something that I hope we can do every day, to look at the little things and find joy in it.
Thank you for watching.